Hi, my name is Brent Dlugach and I'm a senior business management major at University of Memphis. I've done this project for my strategic management class. My focus today will be on the Fortune 500 company Coca-Cola and how it uses strategic management to create a competitive advantage over its rivals. First, we will take a look at what a strategy is. A strategy is the coordinated means by which an organization pursues its goals and objectives. Next, we will discuss the importance and purpose of a strategy. A strategy helps a firm accomplish its goals in the face of competition. The firms are attempting to gain a competitive advantage over their potential providers for those products and services. Ever order a drink and order a Coke, only to have your server ask you what type of Coke you would like? That, my friends, is a strategic plan that has achieved its goals. Coca-Cola is the largest distributor of non-alcoholic beverages in the world. They have achieved this goal by becoming global. In fact, 94% of the world's populations recognize their red and white logo. They also remain diverse. Their diversity has earned them the right to be named to the top corporation for women enterprises. Both of these first two factors undoubtedly have led them to growing, where their operating income has grown from $1.7 billion to $10.2 billion. And last but not least, Coke has taken pride in their people. This has proven to them being named to the top 10 private employers in the world. Chapter 2 begins with discussing why top executives, through their actions, have such an impact on the outcomes that concern a firm's key stakeholders. It's safe to say Coca-Cola's CEO Muhtar Kent has done a great job defining the vision and missions of his company. Next, we take a look at the meaning of the mission and why companies use them. A mission is a declaration of what a firm is and what it stands for, its fundamental values and purposes. Not only can a mission statement express the firm's identity, but it can also inform managers and employees of the firm's direction. Muhtar Kent, the CEO of Coca-Cola, has formulated a mission statement that reads, "It declares our purpose as a company and serves as a standard against which we weigh our actions and decisions." Now let's take a look at what the exact mission statement is. To refresh the world, inspire moments of optimism and happiness, and create value and make a difference. Chapter 3 introduces the theories and models that explain why some firms outperform their rivals and some of the firms seem to struggle. Many resources and capabilities go into this answer when examining the internal environment of a company, as well as the choices managers make. We will look at SWOT analysis in this chapter. Since this chapter is examining the internal environment, we will focus on the strengths and weaknesses of Coca-Cola. Now let's take a look at the strengths and weaknesses of Coca-Cola. First, let's remember that every single company is trying to create a competitive advantage, and I want to make sure you don't forget a competitive advantage is internal, external, and dynamic. Coca-Cola has an effective production procedure, proper organization skills, and effective communication networks. Coke also assesses its operation to allow them to respond quickly to anything that will cause their company a negative return. And last, Coca-Cola is global. They do a great job of using many different vehicles to export their products. Now that we're done with the internal environment, let's move on to the external environment. Companies are forced to change when the environment changes. For a company to be as effective as possible, it needs to realize the opportunity and threats the world around them provides them. The external environment for Coca-Cola is an interesting one, and the threats to them are changing even more so in today's day and age. The opportunities of Coca-Cola's external environment is that their soft drink industry is one of the most profitable industries. Another opportunity Coke has and has taken advantage of is expanding their product line outside of soft drinks, expanding into sparkling drinks, energy drinks, and more. The major threat to Coca-Cola and its major competitor is Pepsi. Pepsi has long been trying to take over Coca-Cola's rank as the #1 soft drink provider, and while Pepsi has had a lot of success, not to the level of Coca-Cola. Another threat to Coca-Cola is consumers have become more health conscious and have started to substitute juice and water for carbonated drinks. So essentially they have turned this threat of the more health conscious consumer into an opportunity and expanded their product line. Pretty smart if you ask me. Chapter 5 discusses how businesses create their business strategy so they can use their resources to capitalize on the opportunities that arise. The first thing a firm must do is establish their strategic positioning. There is no one specific way for a company to position itself, but it's extremely important they do so in the correct manner. Coca-Cola's positioning is based around the issue that they reach over 200 countries in the world. Due to the fact that they have used the strategy of think global, act local, this means that their core product, Coke, remains the same, but they adapt to offer the local consumer their needs. This strategic positioning allows them to have the same image worldwide, which leads to people everywhere perceiving drinking a Coke as part of everyday life. This perception by the consumers leads to consumer loyalty and makes the purchasing decision almost an automatic buy when thirsty. Sounds like a great use of strategic positioning to me. Next, we will take a look at how companies create a competitive advantage in the face of dynamic competition. Firms have a choice when faced with external challenges. Do they want to run and hide, or do they create a positive out of a crucial situation? Coke's newest challenger is the external environment of consumers wanting a healthier option. They have answered this by addressing the obesity issue in their newest marketing campaign and informing the public as to how they have taken steps to improve their product. This ad gives the public a sense of Coca-Cola cares. Now that Coke has addressed this issue by coming up with their line of vitamin water, Coke Zero, and other healthier alternatives, they have turned a negative into a positive by showing the public they care about them. Mission accomplished. Next, we'll look at developing a corporate strategy with a focus on diversification. Diversification is defined as the degree to which a firm conducts business in more than one area. When developing your corporate strategy, a company must answer these 3 questions. Next, we will take a look on how Coke has managed to develop an extremely diverse company. Let's take a look. Coke is an extremely diverse company that stresses diversity in its internal operations through diversity education and training, as well as diversity councils and business resource groups. They have also marketed with Yao Ming, former NBA basketball player who is wildly popular in China, to make sure they have a huge presence in China. A few of their other products that Coke has produced is Powerade, Smart Water, Vitamin Water, Monster Energy Drinks, and Dasani Bottled Water. I could go on for days with different products Coke has developed to become more diverse, but to save us both some time, click on the link at the bottom of the slide to view all of them. Coke has a very big presence internationally. They operate in over 200 countries and produce over 3,500 products. Coke gives everyone in the world a chance to get familiar with their products by having an option on their website to view their site in every different language imaginable. Talk about an emphasis on global dominance. Coke has also helped with many international coastal cleanups, as well as commemorating International Women's Day by celebrating the increasingly important role women play around the world, as well as increasing focus on female professional development. Acts like these are just a few examples of how Coke reaches everyone internationally. Chapter 9 discusses alliances and how to build a competitive advantage through those alliances. Many times when you're thinking about the word alliance, you're thinking of your friends, partners, or a relationship. Or at least I am. In the business world, an alliance is defined as a relationship in which 2 or more firms combine resources and capabilities in order to enhance the competitive advantage of all parties. One thing Coke has done a magnificent job of doing is establishing many long-lasting alliances that has benefited both of them and the companies they have a relationship with. Some of these companies are Walt Disney Company, which is over a 50-year alliance, Apple, McDonald's, and many more. If I were to name off every alliance they have formed, then we would be here all day. Chapter 10 studies mergers and acquisitions. Mergers and acquisitions are oftentimes confused with each other and used interchangeably, even though they are not the same thing. The differences are subtle and have different meanings. Many of these differences can end up in court as well, so it's important to know the differences. Now let's clarify between the two. An acquisition means that a transfer of ownership has taken place. In other words, one firm has bought another. A merger is a consolidation of or combination of one firm with another. Coke has had numerous mergers and acquisitions throughout the years. Because acquisitions for large companies such as Coke take place so often, I've listed the most recent three. As you can see from the dates on these slides, acquisitions occur almost monthly for large corporations as Coke. You just may not realize unless you look closely. Now let's take a look at Chapter 11 in organizational structure and the workforce. Organizational structure is the relatively stable arrangement of responsibilities, tasks, and people within an organization. At this point, we know that strategy formulation is deciding what to do, and strategy implementation is the process of executing what you have planned to do. Now, Chapter 11 discusses the issues concerning strategy implementation, such as the levers of the organizational structure. Coke recently announced a new operating structure that was effective January 1st, 2013 that operates around three major operating businesses to help them achieve their 2020 vision. This new operating structure consists of the company's Europe, Pacific, and Eurasia and Africa operations. Coca-Cola Americas, which will consist of the company's North America and Latin American operations, and Bottling Investments Groups, which oversees the company-owned bottle operations outside of North America. The main goal of their 2020 vision is to streamline reporting lines, intensify their focus on key markets, and create a structure that leverages synergies and flexibility to adjust their business strategically. I cannot tell you how many times I have brainstormed for the next big invention, the next big app for an iPhone, and attempt to be my own boss and make an enormous amount of money. What I do know that I was doing, which is what is discussed in Chapter 12, is I was attempting to be an entrepreneur. Entrepreneurship is defined as the recognition of opportunities and the use of resources and capabilities to implement innovative ideas for new ventures. If you're attempting to be an entrepreneur, I would like to educate you and encourage you by telling you the most successful entrepreneurs are known for challenging orthodoxy. Coke began in 1886 and was born by a pharmacist from Atlanta named John Pemberton. The story goes like this. One day, John whipped up a caramel-flavored syrup, brought it down to a pharmacy a few doors down, and mixed it with carbonated water. Next, he got the people in the pharmacy to try his new drink, and they all loved it. Then they wrote out the formula for making it and haven't changed it to this day. Mr. Pemberton's business started out slow. As it was reported, he only sold just 9 glasses of Coke a day, but has grown to be a giant in our world today. I would like to issue a special thank you for Mr. Pemberton for inventing Coke, as I have enjoyed many Cokes in my day. Corporate governance is the system by which organizations, particularly business corporations, are directed and controlled by their owners. Corporate governance promotes long-term interest of share owners, strengthens board management accountability that builds public trust in the company. Coke's board is elected by the share owners to oversee their interest in the long-term success of the business. For Coca-Cola, the board serves as the ultimate decision-making body for the company. They select and oversee members of senior management who are charged by the board with conducting the business of the company. Coke's most important strategic issue that they are dealing with is the increasing nutritional awareness of their consumers about obesity. The emergence of the internet being an information highway that people can constantly gain knowledge about their bodies and the effects that products such as Coca-Cola and sugar have on it has led to a change in marketing strategy. If Coca-Cola does not continue to stress health changes that address obesity, then they will eventually have some slippage in revenue because other companies will pass them by. Because I believe that sugar is the next nicotine, meaning that in 10 to 15 years, we will look at the consumption of sugar just as negatively as smoking a cigarette. I think it is absolutely necessary to focus on a healthier option for Coca-Cola so they do not lose their competitive advantage. The first thing I think Coca-Cola should do is form alliances with much healthier companies from the public standpoint. As profitable as their alliance with Coca-Cola is, I think in 10 years we will view Coke and McDonald's the same as a lighter and a cigarette. So my recommendation would be to form as many alliances with perceived healthy organizations as possible. Coke also needs to continue to address the issues of obesity in their product and not run from them. If they are informing the public of the changes they are making and trying to turn that into a positive instead of a negative by avoiding it, they are on the right path. I have no doubt that Coca-Cola will continue to thrive in their competitive environment. It is not an accident they are such a great company, and they are always steps ahead of everyone else. I hope you enjoyed my presentation, and thank you for watching.